This is the editing in the Midi workstation. Okay, editing in the Midi workstation is very similar. A lot of the same things you do up in the multi-track of SAW Studio. Okay, I'm going to start out with your undo function, and of course you can go up here to the edit and you have your control increments, right or left, or de-increment and increment, or however you say them, but I call them control left increment or right increment. That's your undos. Important to know that. And we'll start off with the scrub mode. Scrub mode is very easy. You just right click and you see the mouse changes and you drag. Very simple. A little right click and drag. And there's a couple different modes in the scrub mode. I'll show you the Alt. If I right click and then press the Alt key, I can hit single notes. See? The key is here. You have to right click and then press the Alt key. And there's two other options with the Shift key and Control key for doing multiple tracks or the whole thing. Read up on that in the help file. Very, very easy to understand. But that's the scrub mode. Okay, next, how about selecting? If I left click on any one of these note entries, I'm selecting it and it turns white. And you'll notice here, up here in this area, it tells you all the information about that note. If you want to hear that note, just click up here. Okay, that's that's one way of selecting. And you can only select one at a time this way by left clicking. If you want to select multiple ones, you can go into select mode, which is right up here, and that's the S key. Turns that on and off, and you'll see what happens to the cursor. And I can select multiple notes like that. I can press the C key and that will clear them, right? I can also press the Control A key and that selects all of them. And this is when you're in select mode. We're in select mode right now. And if I press the C key, it clears them all. Another way of selecting when you're in select mode is to drag with the left mouse button held, and you can drag that way. And you can drag this way across multiple tracks. You can press the C key, of course, to clear. You can't drag this way. See, nothing happens. You can drag this way and get the notes you want like that. Press the C key. But if you want to get everything real quick, oh, you gotta have the cursor over there. You gotta get all of them. See how I'm doing that? I'm starting below everything and in front of everything. See this? See how that works? Very easy. Okay, another way of doing it is, let's go out of select mode, because watch here, when I left drag down here, it doesn't work. I'm not selecting a marked range here because I'm in select mode. So I'm going to press the S key and I'm out of it. So here's another way of selecting notes. I can select them this way. I can press the C key and it deselects them. I can select one, multiple. And if I'm in the grid mode, I believe it snaps. See how it snaps to each grid setting? And the C key to unselects them. That's one way. Another way of selecting them. Okay, just to let you know about the tab feature. Turn off the grid here. If I press the tab key, it's going to move to the beginning of the next note, no matter where you are on the keyboard. So it looks like this will be the next note. And then this one. See? And if you see how that works, and if you press the shift, hold the shift key down and press the tab key, you'll go to the back to where you started from. Go to the left, and it goes to each note, and that can come in handy. Tabbing, home key, and again, wherever you're at, if you click right here, it takes you home too, right in this little area. Now, how do you delete something? Well, that's easy. You just, well, in this you can, I'm sorry, you can select that note and press the delete key, and I just deleted it. Select that note, delete it. I can mark a range and delete it. Pretty simple, right? We'll get those back, the control increment keys. Home. Oop. Home key. Okay, so we went over some stuff there. It's pretty easy so far, right? And it's not hard. Okay. Now, what about moving notes and editing them? Well, one feature that you've noticed in the multi-track, this SS multi-track, is the same as here. And this function that I'm showing you is the same for moving notes and control data. And we'll get to the control data later. But if I highlight that, select that note, and I press the shift key, what does shift mean? Shift means shift right or left. You hear the note, and if I hold the shift key down, I will stay on that note, right or left. It will not alter down the keyboard. See? Just alters down the timeline, but keeps the note the same. If I control left click, I can change the note. See that? We'll go back. Now, that's one way of moving notes around and changing notes. And while I have it here, and if I have this note selected, I can go up here and hear the note, and watch up here where the note is. A little hand appears, and I can change the note from here. See, I just changed it. Pretty neat, huh? This little keyboard comes in handy. I'm going to go back, undo. You cannot select multiple ones, move multiple ones just by clicking this way, but you can move multiples. Oh wait, let me show you this too. Now again, if you shift or control left click, it doesn't matter. Both of these do the same thing. I'm going to shift. I'm going to shift and let go, and then I can move it anywhere. Undo. Just keep our song intact there, and that works with the shift or control keys. Now, we're moving stuff here and editing, so what happens if I have a marked range of these? Well, with this marked range, if I can use the shift control move here. Watch, I'm going to shift, left click, and I'm going to move that right down here. And if I have the snap to grid feature on, it's going to snap to the grid. Put the snap to grid on, and let's move it right. See how it snaps? Just like that. And let's go to this view. If I want to control, click and move this whole section down to this track, I can. Just like that. And that was the control left drag. Let's move that back up. Let's go back up to this view. Oop. Press the C key. and clear that. That's one way of moving. Now, another way of moving is this. I'm going to select this note here. Then I'm going to put the cursor. I want that note right there. Now all I have to do is press the backspace button, and it snaps it right to it. It snaps it, that note that I have selected right to where the cursor is. I want that note right there, backspace. I want that note right over here, backspace. See that? It keeps the note in the same, doesn't change the actual note, just changes it in the timeline. I don't know where that, there we go. And of course, it works the same with a marked area. So I want to move that marked area right here. I press backspace and it just moved it all over there. I want to move it back over here, backspace. Pretty neat, huh? Now I can also move, I want to move this right here, backspace. I moved all that down there to right here. You can do that to different tracks. Move your data all over the multi-track. This is easy. Backspace. You get in the picture? Pretty easy, huh? Now, let's clear that. Okay, so we've went over moving stuff in by clicking on it. We moved it with a marked range, and we did it with the snap feature. And how do you edit? Oh, well, let me show you this. Another way of selecting, of course, is the I can press the B. Oh wait, I can go here and say I want to mark this area. I can press the B key, and wherever I can press the E key, and I mark specific areas like that. It's another way of other than dragging. Okay, so now how do we edit these notes? Well, you know that control, selecting this in control, left dragging will change the note here. And you know that the highlighted note, you can alter it right here. You also, this note, I can change the velocity just by clicking here or here. It changes the on velocity. I can click in this window, and I have a menu, and I can select there and select numbers. And this will all, anything I do here is going to alter this one note. And all these work here, altering that. I can alter the start time, move it up a little, move it back a little. The duration, I can, make it a little bit longer, a little bit shorter. But I also can Alt, if I hold down the Alt key, and this is the same as in the multi-track of the SAW Studio, and Alt left click, and I can shorten it. Alt left click, I can make it that long. If I'm on the side of it, see that? Now, I can also, if I have the cursor right there, I want to shorten that note to right where the cursor is. I just press the U key. That's the U key. I want to bring that, I want to start that note right there. I press the U key. Pretty simple, huh?